Talking about technology in the future is factually speaking uncertain. We don't know if we will find a cure for cancer, the economic outlook, if we will be living in an algorithmic world, or if our cubicle mate will be soon replaced by a robot. Some ideas for change the world in the future are energy storage bricks, a way to store energy in the red bricks that are used to build houses. Robotic guide dogs will help support visually impaired people who are unable to house a real animal. A new era computing. By 2025, quantum computing will have outgrown its infancy, and the first generation of commercial devices will be able to tackle meaningful real-world problems. One major application of this new kind of computer will be the simulation of complex chemical reactions, a powerful tool that opens up new avenues in drug development. Living robots, tiny hybrid robots made using stem cells from frog embryos could one day be used to swim around human bodies to specific areas requiring medicine or to gather microplastic in the oceans. The future of construction. Construction will become a synchronized sequence of manufacturing processes delivering control, change, and production at a scale. It will be a safer, faster, and more cost-effective way to build the homes, offices, factories, and other structures we need to thrive in cities and beyond. Knowing the physical and virtual spaces. One thing the current pandemic has shown us is how important technology is for maintaining and facilitating communication, not simply for work purposes, but for building real emotional connections. In the next few years, we can expect to see this progress accelerate. Without technology built to connect people at a human level and drive them closer to each other, even when physically they are apart.
We project that the world economy could more than double in size by 2050. Emerging markets will continue to be growth engine of the world economy. By 2050, the E7 economies could have increased their share of world GDP from around 35% to almost 50%. China could be the largest economy in the world, accounting for around 20% of world GDP in 2050. With India in second place and Indonesia in fourth place based on GDP. A number of other emerging markets will also take center stage. Mexico could be larger than the UK and Germany by 2050 in PIB terms, and 6 of the 7 largest economies in the world could be emerging markets by that time. Meanwhile, the EU27 share of the world GDP could be down to less than 10% by 2050, smaller than India. We project Vietnam, India, and Bangladesh could be the 3 of the world's fastest growing economies over this period. UK growth has the potential to outpace the average rate in the EU27 after the transitional impact of Brexit has passed. Also, we project the fastest growing large US economy to be Poland. Today's advanced economies will continue to have higher average incomes, but emerging economies should make good progress towards closing this gap by 2050. This will open up great opportunities for business prepared to make long-term investments in these markets, but this will require patience to ride out of the storm we have seen recently in economies like, for example, Brazil, Nigeria, and Turkey, and all of which still have considerable long-term economic potential based off our analysis.
We already know technology has long played a crucial part in medicine, whether it's the development of the microscope back in the 17th century or the development of any number of surgical tools. The health industry wouldn't be what it is today without constant innovations in the field. Today we will be talking about some new developments that we can have in the near future, starting by virtual patients. This company called Cyber Patient is providing virtual medical training. As well, we can talk about this company called Levlex. They are creating video games that help doctors to experience real-life situations in a virtual setting. As well, we can talk about bleeding robots. This is with the company Gamma. They are building robots for medical training. These impressively include robots that give birth, robots with traumatic brain injuries, and robots with infected limbs and even gunshot wounds. This is one of the most interesting, bionic cyber guys. Last year, researchers at the University of Minnesota 3D printed an array of light receptors onto an hemispherical surface. The work is being treated as a significant step toward the existence of functioning bionic eyes that could help blind people to see as sight impaired to see better. Well, according to experts, the environmental impact is mainly due to three factors: the size of the population, its well-being, and technology. And it is that technology maintains a much healthier relationship with the ecosystem, reducing polluting emissions. One example is biotechnology. It refers to any technological application that uses biological systems or living organisms to create specific processes. Another one is the polymerization. It is still in the experimental phase, but is already one of the methods of the future to protect the environment. The basis of this is to convert any waste that includes carbon in its composition into functional fuels. To achieve the expected result, they should only be subjected to extreme conditions of heat and pressure. The third one will be digital media, and the digital press of the future will have a much more important role. In a few years, the electronic newspaper will become the main source of information, since the reader will not only be aware of current events, it will also help to mitigate the pollution of the planet. And the last but not least is thermal energy. Another measure unknown to many but of incredible potential is thermal energy. The ocean is one of the largest solar energy collectors on the planet. Every day it absorbs a similar amount to 250 trillion barrels of oil, enough to supply the entire world. Since in general terms it consumes around 90 million barrels of oil per day. The accounts end up in more with the collaboration of OTEC technology, which converts thermal energy into electricity using the temperature difference between the water surface and the seabed.
So, what will be the future for politics? Well, I certainly think politics will be the most humanizing they have ever been with the help of new generations in charge, such as Gen Z. But it could go two ways, or it is going to go two ways. The best possible way will be that everyone will be respecting others by humanizing. We will have done laws against stuff which go against everyone's human rights. My perspective is a better world for younger generations while getting rights for everyone. But what's the bad way, you may ask? Well, if by that time we haven't stopped the world from being destroyed by all the damage like climate change, pollution, etc., or fix the damage we have done, we will have done a huge mess for humanity, or at least started the end of it. And everyone will start a war for food, water, and getting resources. Anyways, talking about technology terms, maybe machines will determine our future politics and our life. Maybe they will be taking the president's or leader's place and they will be in charge instead of humans. And if we let them serve as this, they could even exterminate us. But anyways, who knows?